Modern password security relies on a specific paradox. Your password manager uses AES 256 encryption, a mathematical standard so rigorous it is considered unbreakable. Yet, over the last few years, millions of user accounts have been compromised. We saw this play out in high-profile credential leaks affecting LastPass in 2022 and 2026, and Bitwarden's developer tools in early 2026. This animation shows why direct attacks fail. The encryption math is so robust, it would take a supercomputer billions of years to brute force a single 256-bit key. Threat actors no longer attempt to crack the math directly. Because the vault door is too heavy to breach, attackers have shifted their focus. They now target the human endpoints and systemic pathways that lead into the vault. Security experts call this the perimeter inversion. The attack surface has flipped, moving from the secure data core outward toward the supply chain. This outer ring consists of 4 dependencies: development pipelines, third-party vendors, browser extensions, and the human endpoints operating the software. A password manager is an interconnected manufacturing line. Any single external connection point creates a vulnerability for the entire system. In April 2026, attackers bypassed Bitwarden's end users entirely, targeting the developers who build the system instead. We can track the intrusion on this data flowchart. Attackers compromised a GitHub action tool, injecting a credential-stealing payload into a Bitwarden package published to the NPM registry. In just 93 minutes, 350 developers downloaded the infected code, exposing their internal cloud credentials. By poisoning the automated pipeline, threat actors obtain administrative control over back-end cloud infrastructure without ever interacting with a user's local vault. Moving from developer tools to corporate integrations, LastPass faced a different external exposure in June 2026. Notice this glowing bridge, representing the trusted integration between LastPass and Clue. Attackers targeted Clue to hijack LastPass OAuth tokens. Using those hijacked tokens, they unlocked a secondary database containing customer names, emails, and physical locations. The core encrypted password vaults stayed secure. Even when a company's internal infrastructure remains secure, a compromised third-party vendor provides a path for attackers to exfiltrate sensitive customer records. On the user's end, the local browser creates its own vulnerabilities. Throughout 2025, extensions for LastPass, Bitwarden, and 1Password were hit by a wave of clickjacking exploits. An attacker manipulates the document object model, placing an invisible layer over a legitimate login button to exploit extension autofill permissions. When the cursor clicks, it hits the hidden layer instead, forcing the password manager to surrender login credentials and 2-factor codes. The tension between user convenience and strict security creates exploitable blind spots on the client side. Ultimately, every system relies on human administrators. The 2022 LastPass breach demonstrated this by targeting specific individuals across 2 stages. In August 2022, attackers compromised a developer's local endpoint. They siphoned out 14 proprietary source code repositories and internal system documentation. They used that internal intelligence to identify a specific target, a senior DevOps engineer. This employee was one of only 4 people globally with access to the company's encrypted Amazon S3 backups. The attackers tracked the engineer home, exploiting a vulnerability in a Plex media server running on their personal computer. Once inside the home network, they deployed a keystroke logger to capture the engineer's master password. By infiltrating a single employee's living room, attackers accessed AWS backups and exfiltrated the vault data of 25 million users. Corporate security fails when a personal device provides a path to the backend. A modern password manager is only as secure as its most vulnerable endpoint, forgotten software update, or third-party API. To adapt, the cybersecurity industry in 2026 is aggressively restructuring. These network partitions represent strict isolation barriers between developer environments and production user vaults. Companies are pulling operations inward, reducing reliance on external build ecosystems, and centralizing policy enforcement to shrink the attack surface. Password managers remain essential tools, but modern digital survival depends on looking past the encryption math and defending the entire supply chain that builds the product.